when did you fall in love with like women in hip hop?
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Where My Girls At. As you may notice, there was no intro song.
And why is there no intro song?
And there will not be again.
And why is that?
It's a funny story, actually. I woke up to an email on Friday from Universal Music Group saying that we can't use music in our episodes. And we emailed back and forth for a little bit. And the final answer was no. They said, fuck fair use. Fuck all of the things that you were talking about. You may not use our music in your show. So then I had a very fun time on Friday deleting all of the music from every single episode that we've ever done.
Oh my gosh.
So there will be no more intro songs. However, make sure that you are following us on Spotify, because we're still going to be updating those playlists.
Yep.
With music recs and intro songs every week. Even, every episode. So even though it's not going to be in the physical episode, we're still brainstorming on what we can do instead. Because it's a work in progress, y'all.
Yeah.
We are doing this together, all right?
Doing our best.
Doing our best. I'm just trying. But hi, welcome back to another episode of Where My Girls At, and
there's so much that's happened, but all I could say is real rap is back.
Listen, we'll get to that. Should we just jump in?
Yeah, let's jump in.
Jesus Christ, what the fuck is going on? It's like every time after first of all, happy Black History Month.
Oh, yeah. No, happy
Black History Month to all my people out there. Half-breeds, please know that you only have until the 14th, actually the 15th this year, because it's a leap year. So you got an extra day, but after that, I don't want to hear shit from you, okay? If you do not have 4 Black grandparents, pack it up on.
Wow. I was like, not you discriminating in Black History Month.
Pack that shit up. Okay, we don't want to hear it. Okay, let's jump into it, because baby, there's been a lot happening. Where do we want to start? I think we should start with something
good news.
I think we should start with something good. And that is that Nadira Simmons, her book, First Things First, Hip Hop Ladies Who Changed the Game, is officially out.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's out in the world. It's my next read. I am in the middle of this amazing book about the Gilded Age. It's like a fictional book about this woman who becomes she's from the South, and she's, gonna die because
is it the Seven Husbands?
War.
No,
this is called, what the fuck is this book called? An American Beauty. Something by like that. It is amazing.
Ooh.
I love Gilded Age type shit. Like, I love it when he's like, and he put his hand over my glove.
Oh my god.
He touched my elbow for a bit in the drawing room, and I thought of him for a fortnight. I just love.
Oh my god.
I love that stuff. So I'm in the middle of that book right now. Not actually in the middle. I'm basically almost done with the book.
Reading is also back.
Reading is back. Okay. I'm a person who likes to listen to audiobooks on my commute. Because one, it's like, this is how I'm gonna read. This is when I get my reading time. But also, it just makes my commute go a lot faster. So I'm listening to a lot of audiobooks. But the point is that Nadira's book is my next read. Once I finish, the point was not to talk about the Gilded Age book for as long as I just did.
It's all good. But reading is back, and your next read should be Nadira's book.
It should be. I'm gonna read what is written here about, like, the what do you call it? Synopsis. That's not the right word about it. So it says, this is like, I got this from Amazon. This and there's an audiobook. There's an audiobook too. So
Oh,
if
cool.
you're like, I don't want to read a physical book, there's an audiobook version of this. It says this enlightening book reframes the history of hip hop. In this time, women are given credit for all their trailblazing achievements that have left an undeniable impact on music. First
I
things
love
first,
that.
hip hop is not just the music, and women have played a big role in shaping the way it looks today. First things first, take readers on a journey. There's some notable firsts by women in hip hop history and their importance. Factual firsts, like Queen Latifah becoming the first rapper to get a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Lauryn Hill making history as the first rapper to win the coveted Album of the Year award. Tonight is the Grammys, too. At the Grammys,
Word.
April Walker being the first woman to dominate in the hip hop fashion game, and Da Brat being the first solo woman rapper to have an album go platinum, and metaphorical first, like Missy Elliott being the first woman rapper to go to the future. Parentheses, trust me, she really did. There are chapters on legends like Nicki Minaj, Lil Kim, and Mary J. Blige, TV and radio hosts like Big Les and Angie Martinez, and so many more ladies I would name, but I don't want to spoil the book. There are games, charts, and some fire images too. So make sure that you get that.
Nice.
I think a book like this also is just so deeply important to hip hop culture. Like to
Yeah.
have something like this that is written down, that is recorded in history. Because,
Documented, yeah.
exactly, because if we don't document it, then what's going to happen? It's going to get lost in the fray. It's going to get become these women who were, at the center of all these achievements, who were pioneering things that we take for granted today, are then going to become footnotes in their own stories.
Yep.
If we don't document women who were, whose roles were integral in the foundation in the fabric of hip hop, they'll be erased, and we can't let that kind of thing happen.
Of
So
course.
it's important for a book like this to exist, number one, but I also think there needs to be more,
Yeah, definitely.
she's put out part 2. We need, I mean, this just came out, so by part 1, but the point, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah. No, definitely need to get the shine, and also Black History Month, support a Black woman.
Exactly.
Doing
Support
her
a Black
thing.
woman, and I'm really excited to listen to the book, but I think I'm also gonna go and get it so I have the pictures and stuff.
Same.
Even though I actually really prefer audiobooks like this today.
Okay.
My eyesight is getting bad. Yeah. I don't wear my glasses as often as I should.
You're one of
that's my
those.
cross
One
to
of
bear.
those.
Yeah, I am. Mhm.
And it'd be
Mhm.
like that.
It'd be like that. Can we talk about some more good news?
Yes.
Before we jump into the fucking mess, okay. So Megan Thee Stallion has signed a distribution deal with Warner Music Group while maintaining her independence.
That's dope.
I'm pulling this from Billboard because it says Megan Thee Stallion has found a new home as she's entered an innovative agreement with Warner Music Group while maintaining her independence. They reported in December that she would be working with WMG and utilizing them for distribution and services. And the distribution deal has been signed, and it was announced on Friday. It says within the structure of this unique partnership, the Houston Hottie will have access to WMG's global services, ranging from music promotion to distribution to worldwide marketing. On the music side, she'll keep releasing everything independently through her Hot Girl Productions label and work collaboratively with Warner Music. So this deal allows her to keep ownership and control of her masters and her publishing. And
Yeah, that's awesome.
Megan said, "This is the beginning of an exciting new chapter of my life and my career. I'm really focused on building an empire and growing as an entrepreneur, so I'm proud to take this next step in my journey and work with Max Luceda and the entire Warner Music Group team in this new capacity. I know we are going to create history today. Roc Nation will still be involved in managing the Grammy winner, separate from the new Warner agreement. And then, yeah, so she's no longer, it looks like she's no longer signed to I don't know if she's still signed to 300 Entertainment, but she's no longer signed to 1501. So
right. Yeah, I saw that in the article as well.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that she's able to have to keep her independence, especially her masters. I know that's a huge thing for artists as well.
Yeah, and the publishing.
And the publishing.
Yeah.
So I mean, this is a huge win. I mean, all the stuff that she's been through, she deserves a win.
I cannot tell you. Y'all will never turn me against this fucking girl. Okay,
Yeah.
everything that she has been through, and she still stay winning. You know
Yeah.
who's behind that? Roc Nation. And you know who else is, you know what else they're behind? I heard they did 9/11. I heard
Oh my God,
that
shut up.
these niggas, I heard that they're the reason that the Carter Five, it was delayed. We never got, it wasn't actually birthed, it was Roc Nation. I heard that they are behind, you know, JFK being shot. I heard that Jay-Z had a hand in that. I heard,
Yeah.
girl, I heard that they
It runs
might
deep.
be, I heard that they have ties and they're the ones who are actually behind this this occupation in Gaza. I heard that Roc Nation has been committing girl, they're the fucking boogeyman to these bitches. It's crazy. Okay, but before we move into that, Megan also said in an interview, not even an interview, it was kind of just like an announcement on Good Morning America. It wasn't really an interview, but she said that this summer her third studio album is coming and the Hot Girl Summer Tour is coming.
Yes.
Coming to the I don't even know where she's gonna do, probably stateside, but she might go international. So what are we wearing to the Hot Girl Summer Tour?
Actually, yeah.
What are we wearing?
I feel like it's similar energy to like Beyonce, like cowboy hats type of thing, but I don't booty shorts. Yeah.
Really, I want some tassels. I want cowboy boots. I want like,
yeah. I feel like she deserves like a theme at her concerts.
I can't wait to see what it's gonna be. Let me tell you, I'm
I
there.
want to go. I would love to see her perform.
It's not even a question. I'm there, and I might go to Houston because you know she's gonna show out.
Yeah,
you know she's gonna show out for Houston. Girls, if you're listening to this episode, please hit us up on Twitter, on TikTok, on Instagram. You can even text me and tell me, what are we wearing to the Hot Girl Summer Tour?
Yeah,
what are we wearing? Because let me tell you, I was gonna, I'm not even gonna go there yet. But okay, I want to move to something because we're obviously gonna have to save, you know what, for last. But okay, so UMG, Universal Music Group, has removed all of their music from TikTok after they failed to release or to reach an agreement on how much they would be paid. And for people who don't know, like, they're like pretty much like what, 3 big companies that own pretty much all of the music companies, like in the entire, you know, that exist in the realm of music. And Universal Music Group, let me see exactly what their holdings are, because I know they have Republic, I know they have Warner, and
they have a lot. And the girls are upset. The girls are upset.
They have Def Jam, they have Republic, they have Warner, they have this is fucking. Do you know how crazy it is for you to own, for one company to be all of these artists, Nicki Minaj, Taylor Swift, BTS, Justin Bieber, Drake, all of Ariana Grande, under one label. Under one label. Like, this is the problem with the music industry. It's too much of a monopoly, but that's not the point. The point is, well, what's the future of music? You know, not even just like, I know that sounds really bleak, but what did you think about this when that happened?
Well, I mean, like, I thought about how, like, you know, we've talked about how music is, like, this is the new way of being able to consume music, I think, through TikTok.
Right.
And getting put on.
We've done that so often.
Yeah, we've done it so often. So I think it's, I don't know, I thought it was kind of shiesty. I understand, like, wanting to get your coin, whatever. At the end of the day, business, you're trying to get money, whatever. But, like, I don't know. I feel like it takes away from, like, the audience of being able to listen to, like, what people are coming out with. And I don't know. I thought it was kind of bad. But, I mean, the TikTokers, like, Monet, I follow Monet on TikTok, and she's just like, that's literally all my content, like, gone.
Yes, that's crazy. But you know what? And speaking of, like, these big major artists, like, Taylor Swift is not going to be hurt by this. Drake is not going to be hurt by this. Like, they'll be fine.
Yeah, totally.
Fine. But it's these smaller independent artists or the smaller artists on your roster who you have forced to create songs for viral TikTok moments.
That's true.
That's been your whole strategy for these past couple of years. And now you're just like, we're not doing that anymore. So where are you going to pivot to? You don't even have a plan. There's no plan for what's next. Are they going to try and create an app? You know, like TikTok? It's not going to happen because now it looks so forced. If you had done that first, if that was the plan, if you had rolled that out first, it would be different. But now
Right.
it's just like, well, what was the point of all that bullshit TikTok marketing that you were trying to do? Like, I feel like they just don't have a very clear idea of what the fuck they're doing, you know?
Yeah, I think it's just kind of like a I don't know, like pissing contest in some ways.
No, it really is. But who's hurt by it in
Yeah,
the
the
end? It's
most,
not.
yeah.
It's not Taylor Swift. It's
Yeah.
certain. It's not Drake. It's not Nicki Minaj.
No, that
It's none of those people who are gonna be hurt by that. It's all the smaller
smaller
artists.
artists,
You
yeah,
know,
they're trying to grow.
trying to grow. You know, and if this is how you wanted them to grow, how could you just take that away from them? You know?
Totally.
So
Yeah.
now when it doesn't work, you know what else I want to talk about?
Man.
I want to backtrack a little bit because I wrote this down in my notes.
Mm.
Who do you think should open up for Meg on the Hot Girl Summer Tour?
Oh.
Because
Nice.
I hadn't thought about this, and then I just looked at that in my notes, and I'm like, who should open up for her?
I don't know. I think someone who would be cool if they were gonna keep like a Texas slate is like Mona Leo.
Oh, Mona Leo could be one of the openers for sure.
I could see that, or like maybe like I don't know, maybe like Tia Corinne, or like I don't know. I'm trying to think, or like a Flo Milli maybe, but I don't know who would open for her.
That's so interesting. I'm just like, I'm trying to think too, because I don't have any idea of who could open up for her. So maybe let's like think on that. If you're listening to this, who do you think should open for Meg? Like, I want to know who should open up for Meg, like on this tour, because I have no idea.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I have no idea. Okay, let's move on. Lizzo was
all the trenches.
still in the trenches. She's kind of like, trying to crawl her way back to public favor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is crazy because she's like still entrenched in this fucking lawsuit.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
It's pretty bad. And she tried to file a motion to have the sexual harassment lawsuit dismissed, but it's not happening. And this thing is still going to trial. Like,
yeah,
she's still being sued for sexual harassment. Didn't we all just forget that because Lizzo's fun and she can make TikToks and she's a vegan? No, she is still like guilty. I'm sorry, until proven innocent.
Yeah,
that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, now it's like she's getting like a lot of stuff thrown at her. And I forgot about it after reading the article, just the amount of stuff that like they're accusing her of.
Oh my God, it's disgusting.
Yeah.
Disability discrimination.
Fat shaming.
Well, you know what? Okay, so here it is. They said that the judge ruled the case would proceed, but he dismissed several of the allegations.
Right.
Including just one allegation of sexual harassment on the set of the reality TV show Watch Out for the Big Girls, and a disability accusation. But it says that Lizzo and Quigley, who I believe is her captain of her dance team, are still facing several allegations of sexual harassment. So yeah, they're still being fucking sued, and it's not looking too good for her.
It's not looking good.
It's not looking too good for her, and
we'll keep you posted.
I don't even know what to say. Like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to Lotto and Ice Spice round 1,000 billion trillion. I'm so tired.
Okay, so I never really understood where their beef stemmed from, though.
I don't think anybody understands where it stems from.
Okay, because I'm like, did I miss something? Like,
I think we missed a lot. I think there are like 4 or 5 things that we missed. But what Ice Spice just released that song, which we'll get to.
That was like,
which we'll get to. And then she got on what is this? Spaces, like on Twitter. She's talking to a bunch of fans on Twitter, and she says, I put out this song because bitches were being funny that day. Like, why am I in the background of your weak ass snippet? She said about Lotto, who was, I believe, playing her video in a snippet. And then somebody was talking, like a girl was talking about Ice Spice on Twitter. She was like, either let her work with someone who can help her with performing in stage presence, or send her back to the Bronx. And then Ice Spice like posted a picture of this girl basically like fat shaming her, you know, like just like while we're on the top, and then she deleted it, you know. But she did not take well to that. I don't know what's going on with Ice Spice.
I don't know either.
And I think it might be time for us to take off our hats of, you know, going to bat for her, because this is trash. The performance was trash. And the crazy thing is, you know, like, say what you want about Lotto maybe not having the kind of commercial success that Ice Spice has.
Right.
That bitch can rap.
Exactly. She can write her own stuff.
Like-
She has like she's able to dance. She's able to. She's been able to push herself into a new category. Like you can't take that stuff away from her.
You can't take any of that away from her. And Ice Spice, like, I love you down, but one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish, you're not coming for Lotto's. It's not gonna work.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. No,
you gotta
no way.
pick a battle with somebody who's equally yoked as you, baby, when it comes to rapping, not popularity. When it comes to rapping. Because she came up on this. She was on TV, you know, with her skills, like writing out diss tracks on television. 16. She's been doing this for so long, Ice. And I just think this is not the battle you need to pick.
This is not it. This is not it.
This is not the battle. I know Nicki has sent you to go and do her bidding or whatever. And
maybe that's
fine.
what it is, yeah.
But the problem is like, you need to know, like, when enough is enough. Like, girl,
use your battles.
You can love Nicki, you can support her, you can be on her team, but you need to, like, you like, you're not going up against somebody who's at the same level as you. She's a much better rapper than you. She's much more clever than you. She's a much better performer than you.
Yeah.
She's just better at this than you. And I think objectively saying that, like, you can love Ice Spice's music and still be like, yeah, I'm sorry, you don't got it.
You're not the better one. Yeah, you're not the better rapper
with this one. But on the topic, I want to talk about this too. Because on the topic of, like, performing abilities, like, the shit was trash. Okay.
Yeah.
But even if you don't have to be you don't have to have the best. Yeah. Dance. That's not the only way that a female rapper can be successful on a stage. But you do need to have stage presence.
I was about to say, I think it's like a rapper in general. Like 21 Savage does not do anything when he's on stage. Yeah. But he has stage presence because he's talking with the audience. Same thing with, like, Little Baby. Like, he doesn't do anything. He's jumping around, whatever. But it's like, you have to give us something. Give us something.
Get rid of these fucking backing tracks. This is not karaoke. I could do that shit if I wanted to. Get up there and fucking rap, okay? Get up there and perform. Have you ever been to a Kendrick Lamar concert?
No.
It is like a religious experience. He is, like, possessed up there. He doesn't even talk to the audience that much. He doesn't interact with them. But that nigga is putting on a show. Okay? He don't have to do a little two-step. He don't have to dance. He don't have to do none of that. Like, that's not a way that you think about Lil' Kim. You know what I mean? Like, in her heyday, was she up there doing, like, a 5, 6, 7, 8? No. But everybody was on their fucking feet. Everybody was enthralled and completely, like, captured by her performance because of how much passion she put into it. You know what I mean? Stop doing shit if you just want to do it for the check. Like, don't go up there then perform on these people's stage if you just gonna act a fucking fool. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a waste of time.
It's a waste of my time.
Yeah.
You know, so that's bullshit. But moving on to, oh Lord, okay. I don't even know where do we even start talking about this crazy ass fucking lady?
Yeah.
Let me just start by saying I was gonna buy tickets to the tour and I'm not.
I like when my playlist comes on and she comes on shuffle for me, I'm skipping now.
I have to skip it now.
It feels like
she's lost.
I feel gross.
It feels gross. Like, she's lost her fucking mind. And the craziest thing is, does she know this whole thing backfired?
Right.
Does she know the whole thing backfired? I don't know. Like, I just, like, for 40 days and 40 nights, this bitch has been on Twitter liking tweets. She's been tweeting at Megan Thee Stallion. She's been on Instagram Live. She's been on Station Head. She's been harassing people on TikTok. Girl, don't you have a child to take care of?
Get a life. Yeah, get a life. Come on.
Get a fucking life. Don't you have a tour to be preparing for?
Exactly.
Shouldn't you be in the gym? Shouldn't you be in the studio? Shouldn't you be somewhere?
There's so many things. Yeah.
Oh my God, she's lost her fucking mind.
Yeah.
And let's talk about it. Let's like talk about a couple of the things that she's talked about.
Sure.
One, Flo Ho, like, you can't be that obtuse. You can't be that obtuse. And I think there's like a subtle racism in that because Meg is Southern.
Oh my gosh.
And
the entire song is coded. 100%.
There's this subtle racism in it because she's
Misogynoir.
Southern, and she's like, everybody thinks because she's Southern and she has an accent that she doesn't switch her flow. Get the fuck out of here, Nicki.
Yeah.
Because we could talk about that, okay? Like,
right.
what the fuck is going on with her? Like, I just don't. And then for somebody who has the stage name Minaj, how could you be so? I don't even know what to say.
Yeah, it's
foolish.
No, it's so foolish. And like, yeah, the entire song was so coded and like damaging to Black women in general.
Yeah.
And I was just like, there's also no creativity here. Like,
None.
There's just like, None. You just like, were like, you know what, let me pull it out real quick. It was like, if there's been several moments, I think, throughout her career in the past, let's say like 5 to 7 years, that would have been like, okay, like she's done. Like she's done. Like she's done.
It's a disaster.
But like, if this wasn't it, like this was the final straw that broke the camel's. I just don't understand.
Why do you always have to insert yourself into shit? Like, you have a tour to rehearse for, you have a child to take care of. Why are you always at the scene of the crime when it comes to controversy? Like, what the fuck is the problem? And you're always trying to make yourself the fucking victim, but yet you are always, you're being the bully that everybody says you are. Like, why don't people invite you nowhere? Why do we never see her at people's concerts, at people's parties? Because you're married to a fucking rapist, but even before then, you just seem like you're not a good person. Like, why is she only surrounded by yes men? Where are Nicki Minaj's friends? Where are the people who care about her that aren't on her fucking payroll? Because she's lost it.
Right.
She's really lost it this time.
Almost 50, acting like this. Like, unhinged.
Come on. And then how dare you? You've been in the music industry for almost 20 years. Why is she acting so obtuse about how an independent artist and distribution and publishing and global market, why is she acting obtuse about how that works? She knows how that works. Are you just mad because Jay-Z endorsed her and not you? Are you mad because now you're not the only female rapper who has a Nicki Minaj feature? Because remember, Cardi was supposed to have a feature, but then it fell through because somebody leaked the song. And so for a while, Nicki was the only one with a feature. But then what? Savage Remix came out. It went number 1.
Yep.
It was
got a Grammy.
Got 2 Grammys.
Yeah, what?
Got 2 Grammys. And she went on tour with Beyonce, not on tour with Beyonce, but she performed on stage with Beyonce. So now you can't even say you're the only female rapper who's done that too. Is that why you're really mad at Roc Nation like this? She's talking about how Desiree Perez, who's the CEO of Roc Nation, is firing people for Meg, is like, doing all these things for Meg. Girl, we have not seen any of that. No one has come out and said anything about that.
Right.
What the fuck are you talking about? She's lost her fucking mind. And I think, she's definitely upset with Jay-Z, but she would never want to go toe-to-toe with him.
Toe-to-toe, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, as it goes for rap beef and diss songs, Nicki is 0 for 3.
Yeah.
How the fuck do you... Yeah, it's so bad, but you know what's crazy? It's because she's talented, you know? She's talented, but when it comes to a diss track, baby, that pen gotta marinate.
Yeah.
She cannot release a diss track. She really can't.
You're right. No, you're right.
Think about it. Black Friday came out, and she responded with Stupid Hoe. With Stupid Hoe. And then Sheether came out. And she responded with No Frauds.
Yeah.
And then this song, which, if you ask me, this wasn't even that. It was she got like this much of the smoke in that song, like just a teeny.
Yeah,
bit.
She barely addressed everything that she said.
I mean, I feel like she came more at Drake, and then she did at Nicki, but that nigga ain't said shit. because Nicki just came right out, guns are swinging, you Bigfoot bitch. Can we talk about that actually? Because I am 5'5" and I wear a size 10.
Yeah.
So I'm not 6 feet and I have big feet. Like,
yeah,
I feel like I got some strays. Being a Bigfoot bitch. I'm so sorry, Nicki, that your feet are small and dainty.
You're a petite and you're
petite,
like a doll.
and
Yeah.
you're just a little small girl. And,
Yeah.
and I'm so sorry that us Bigfoot bitches.
Right.
I'm so sorry that we just got big feet. And the crazy thing is like, at one point and you can jump in at any point. I'm just talking.
Yeah.
At one point she's like, well, how did you get shot? And there's no like
scar or something like.
No scars. But then at another point she's like, get up on your good foot.
Good foot.
So what is it?
Which one is it? Which one is it? Yeah.
You fucking psycho.
And
you
like
fucking psycho.
Bro, and then like at the end where she's just rambling and she's like, you don't want me to tell you everything that like I actually know, so you might as well
she was high.
Like go back into your corner. She was like, she's our Twitter. I'm like, what am I doing?
She was high.
I was so upset that I gave the stream to listen to this.
She was high. You can't convince me. You cannot convince me she was not high. You can't. You will not convince me she was not high on something. I don't know what, but she was high.
It was unbearable. It was unbearable.
It was beyond unbearable, because then the next day she started talking about how she broke all these records because of the song. And I said, you do know this because we thought it was going to be good, right? Like, you can't. The fact if you have to get on Twitter to explain your shitty ass bars, you lost.
Right. And the fact that like she had already like the best bars that she had within the song, she already put on Twitter. So like the shock value was already diminished.
The fuck is this spoken word poem? What the fuck are you doing? Doing ASMR on the track? And this is why we need to end farm streaming. I say this all the time. Let's stop releasing multiple versions of the song to chart. I am sick of people being propped up for breaking records and shit when they aren't done in earnest.
Right.
Niggas used to call into the radio station to hear a Mariah Carey song, calling on the phone to request when minutes wasn't free. This is not the same thing.
This is not the same.
It's not the same thing at all. And it really makes me, then I started thinking. Because now I'm thinking like, okay, she's lost her fucking mind. And she's not rehearsing for this tour that starts in a month. And then she mentioned Ken Barbie.
Yes, that was wild.
I had no idea who the fuck this was.
I don't know either. I didn't know.
Until she mentioned them in the song, and then I started going through his Twitter. And I want to read this drag. I want to read it out loud. The fact that because she said it's going to get uglier than Ken Barbie. First of all, you're Nicki Minaj. Why are you so entrenched in stan culture that you're mentioning Twitter pages by name?
Yeah, that's wild.
You're Nicki fucking Minaj. Are you, what the fuck?
What are you doing?
What are you doing here?
You're not, literally, there's so many other things you could be doing.
What are you doing here? Okay, but let me read this. The fact that I be on this lady mind is funny but I love this because I get paid for this. Nicki, how are you going to buy anyone's catalog when you got liens on your publishing and your tour deal? You blew your advance from the last tour, and now this tour is collateral. So you're literally about to tour for free because you owe Uncle Sam money. That was.
Can you imagine
that? Because she never responded to this. She never said anything back. She says, you want to holler that people judge your disgusting ass husband because they're not used to being loved. But you know who is used to being loved exactly like you? Wendy Williams. He loved her pockets to the end, letting her do all types of drugs so he could keep digging in that purse while you sit up there looking like an ass. That man is keeping you all drugged up, mixing your coke with horse tranquilizers and Ozempic so he can make you more stupid while taking your money and letting you look crazy. You have to buy love. You have no room to judge anybody on anything. You have no friends. Hence why they got you out here looking like a complete maniac while they yes queen you to death just to keep their brownie points and your nasty ego under control. Your brothers are pedophiles. Your real dad is a drug addict like you, and your sister is living in the projects. You might be Nicki Minaj on the surface, but deep down inside, you're that hurt little girl that your mom abandoned in Trinidad till you was 5, and that's why you hate her. You want to talk about apologizing to mothers like you didn't hit your own mom, and as it came out of your mouth, you still haven't forgiven her. Moi, no family, no friends, just coke. And
that was a read.
And included pictures from online of the liens that she has on her fucking publishing, on her tour. Like, she's being sued.
Yeah.
My jaw hit the floor.
It was a read.
My jaw
with receipts.
With receipts.
With receipts.
But you know what's crazy? Is it made me think about something, actually.
Good.
When we did our first season of this show, and it was from Pink Friday to WAP, I remember researching the episode on, like, how big and popular Nicki Minaj was back in the day when the first Pink Friday was being rolled out. I mean, endorsement deals, Super Bowl commercials, Super Bowl performances, hosting American Idol. Every fucking body who could use her face was using her face to endorse shit. What happened to all of that? Where are her endorsement deals?
Yeah.
Where are her sponsorships?
Talk about it.
Where are her commercials? Why doesn't she do music videos anymore? Where's the money? Where's the budget for these? She's doing these AI.
That is so true.
She's doing these AI covers for her fucking, like, single releases and shit. Where are the endorsement deals? Who is sponsoring the Pink Friday 2 tour?
That is so true.
Where is Citibank? Where is American Express? Where are the people? Where are the people who are sponsoring the fucking tour, putting up the money for all of this? How is Nicki Minaj, how does she go from having a deal with OPI to now she's making her own shitty ass press-on nails?
Yeah.
And where are the people?
What happened?
What happened? What exactly? What happened? What happened?
I didn't think about that.
But doesn't it make you think, like, back in the day?
Yeah, no, I can remember. But it's like, I guess she burned so many bridges along the way that it's like, we can't be working with this woman.
It has to be.
We can't be working with this woman.
There's no other explanation.
There's no other explanation.
Because it's not like she's still not as popular as she was. She is.
Right.
And maybe even more popular.
Yeah.
But
for not the right reasons.
But no, yeah. With a there's like a negative.
Like an asterisk there.
There's an asterisk. There's like a negative cloud, negative shadow on it. I really do want to know if these are real. If this lawsuit is real.
Yeah.
If it's like, actually, does she actually have, like, liens on her music and her publishing, and she's like not making
going on tour for free? That's where they make all their money. Like, that's where they.
You're absolutely right. That's probably why she's not rehearsing. Because
you know what? She's like, I'm gonna be out there. Like, where's that video? It's like,
ciao. But she's like going on tour, and she's gonna be like, what? How long is she gonna be on tour? 3, 4, 5 months? That's almost half a year of working damn near every day. And
for free.
Don't see a dime of that shit? You don't see a dime of it? Man,
no, insane.
I would be pissed.
Insane.
I would be pissed. And you know what? It's time. I'm glad that the Barbs are being, like, sued and arrested and having their pages deleted.
Taking things way too far. And I think, like, to put a bow on, or not a bow on this, but final thoughts. Yeah. Final thoughts about it. Like, I mean, the fact to blindly follow someone like that who doesn't even know you,
don't give a fuck.
You don't even know them like that, to be writing for them like that enough to damage property of a deceased family member.
Desecrate.
In the name of this woman that you may never see ever, I think it's idiotic.
Jail
it's
time.
idiotic. Like, I mean, like, yeah, like you deserve what's coming for you.
You deserve jail time.
I can't fathom writing for somebody like that who would, perpetuate that rhetoric, one.
Yeah.
And two, blindly following someone where I get nothing in return.
You get nothing. You get nothing from this. You know?
Yeah.
I happened to stumble upon, because I woke up and randomly like 2 o'clock in the morning one night, and I couldn't go back to sleep. So of course I started scrolling through TikTok last weekend when this was at like its height. There were barbs live on TikTok at 2 o'clock in the morning, just talking about how they've cried themselves to sleep over the way that she's been treated and how they're clocking in every day to defend her. And I just was like, what the what we have gone so far beyond dystopian. Like a future, like is there a point of return at this point? Like, is there a way to go back to what is normal? I don't even know if there is a normal to return to. But how do you come back from this? How do you come back from something like this? This is fucking crazy.
It's crazy, and I hope it doesn't get crazier over time. But
Shit. And they're all gonna be at the Grammys tonight too.
I was gonna say we'll see what happens later on tonight.
Shit, who the fuck knows? Okay, let's talk about new music.
I was like, new music.
Okay, we have a lot of new music. Tia Corinne released her mixtape. We never talked about Hiss or Bigfoot. Lotto has a feature on Jennifer Lopez's album or song. There's a Cali feature, some Coi Leray, Flyana Boss, Mona Leo, Tierra Whack, Ice Spice, JT, Sweetie. Like, there's a lot
of stuff. There's
a lot. So, like, tell me, should we start with Hiss?
Yeah, I was gonna say we can start with Hiss. Love the visuals.
Loved it.
Thought she did a great job. She ate everybody up. No bars.
No thoughts. I agree.
It was great. I'm trying to think anything else from this list. I really like Bonnet by Tia Corinne. I like put it on. I was just like, ooh.
No,
that was the first time in a minute I had felt like that way after like hearing a new song. Let me think. Okay, the Don Julio. I thought it was so funny. I thought this was
funny. So clever.
Just at a gas station, Don Julio.
Yes.
And then I thought it was hilarious that she just had like men twerking in the back.
You know what?
I thought that was so funny.
I appreciate it because she seems like the exact type of person who would do that. I think it's so, like, this year I think we need to manifest for Mona Leo, bigger budget, a label, or at least a major management company investing in her, because I just think she's too funny and too clever to still be doing gas station videos. Like, no offense, but we gotta let that shit go. You know what I mean?
No, I agree.
Okay.
Let me think.
Okay. So about Hiss, like, what I wrote down, like, I love this song. I think it's clever. I love the beat. I love the visuals, and I think I even love, like, the most that she gets to be her own kind of creative. Like, she gets to kind of finally be, now that she's self-funded, you know, she can do what she wants. But I just don't get why Nicki is censoring herself in all of this when she didn't even get whacked the worst. You know what I mean? Like, Drake, you know, academics and his whole following, the Shade Room and their whole following, the internet bloggers. Like, but I appreciate that she's getting everything off her chest. You know,
my gosh, yeah,
do that shit like, in your time. Do that shit in your time, okay?
Like, the fact that I love that she like got up early to be on the Breakfast Club.
Yes,
to be like, listen, I wanted to air my shit out.
Yes,
like,
yes.
I'm gonna leave it there. If it, what is the hit dog's gonna holler. And so she's like, whoever wants this.
Yeah, and did the whole for like 40 days and 40 nights. She did this. Okay, but so then about Bigfoot. I mean, I know we said everything that needs to be said, but I think the one thing that was just like so mind-boggling to me, why are you on Twitter complaining that they won't let you use this beat and exposing producers when you have a producer signed to your label? Like, remember the record label that she started? What the fuck has happened to that? You know what I mean? Like,
no idea.
And like, this is like a video game intro ass beat. This fucking weak ass bars. Like, none of this shit is clever. And it's crazy because she keeps trying to explain how it is clever, but we got it.
But I was like, no, we got it. We heard it. We like, we got you.
We got you. That wasn't the issue.
Very simple. Very simple.
Deeply simple. You know, and there was, okay, but anyway, what about Sweetie? Your homegirl. What about Sweetie?
Listen, I want better for her. I still want better for her. I really do. It was just like, whatever. Like, okay, girl.
You know what? It was fine.
It was fine.
That
It was
was
fine.
really all I could think about it. It was like, it was fine, but I'm so glad that she
It's just fine.
acknowledged. I'm so glad that she acknowledged that her last EP was trash. Like, she said that the last project was a throwaway, and I'm so glad.
Oh,
that
good.
So glad that she admits that, because it was awful. You know,
Yeah.
it was awful. Lotto, can we talk about this fucking song?
Oh, with Jennifer Lopez.
You know how much I have to love somebody to get for you to get me to listen to a Jennifer Lopez song. You know what? That just goes to show you how much love and respect I have for Lotto, because never in my wildest dreams would I have turning on a Jennifer Lopez song in 2024.
I know. I was thinking the same thing when I saw the music video. I'm like, granted, Jennifer Lopez solo looks great.
Oh,
like
1000%.
she can dance,
Gorgeous.
like all of that. But I was just like, really? Like she's like, because I'm like, I remember listening to like a little bit of Jennifer Lopez when I was a kid,
Of course.
and I'm like, now she's out here with Lotto. Like,
yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
it was kind of crazy.
It's kind of crazy. I hope she gets like I hate to admit it, but you know, like Lotto kind of ate this verse up. You know, like
I agree.
I really liked it, and I'm like, why can't we get her with somebody who's actually good? Like get you a Spanish album moment. Like get you some Kali Uchis. You know,
Kali
let's
Uchis,
get her
yeah.
on the next Kali Uchis album or something.
Yeah. She could do it.
Yeah. Okay, what about the Coi Leray song? What did you think about that?
I thought it was different for her.
I agree.
I enjoyed it. Like I don't know if I'm gonna have it on replay, but I thought it was a cool song.
She
like,
said she's
background
entering,
music.
Yeah, she's like, I'm entering my grown and sexy era, you know? And I'm like, you know what? I love that for you, because she is like gorgeous and stunning, like physically, but I also think like she has an ear for R&B. Like, and so I'm interested. I think with every release, like Coi Leray is just becoming better and better of an artist.
I do believe
like,
that too.
More polished. You know what I mean? And more confident. So I'm interested to hear, like, what's going to happen? What's next?
No, I agree.
What about Playing a Boss? What did you think?
Yeah, I had heard the song. I don't know. It felt similar to me, like from the other popular song that they had released.
Wish.
Yeah, I wish.
You wish. Yeah.
So I don't know. It just felt like they were doing the same thing to me. I don't know.
I thought it was fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was like, I wonder who they could get on the remix. Like, could they get a Doja Cat or like a Janelle Monáe or something?
Doja Cat would be cool.
Yeah, because I feel like she's not in her fun era. But maybe they could bring
her in her dark.
She's in her dark and stormy, dark and spooky era. But maybe they can get her rapping like it's fun again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, let's do that. Fair. What about JT's song?
JT's, I only heard snippets of that song, but I was like, I mean, it was okay. Like, I don't know. I feel like I haven't always been overly impressed with like JT singles. Now that I think about it, like when I feel like she comes the hardest is when she's like a feature on a song.
Yeah, I feel like
that's just me.
The song was fine. You know, like the video had no clear direction, and like they really couldn't commit to a vision. Like they just threw a bunch of shit together because they wanted it to be like early 2000s Jackie O aesthetic, which is fine. But I feel like this song really isn't the best show of her skills as an MC. You know, like it's okay, but
it was like fine.
But I'm not gonna return to it.
Right.
You know, like it's okay, but she could do better. You know?
No, exactly. The Tierra Wax song, I liked it. I thought it was fun.
It's fun. It's
cute. Thought it reminded me of like her previous projects, and I was like, okay, I'm excited.
This looked like it could be. This sounds like it could be on like an episode of the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. Like remember that show?
Yes.
I feel like this could double as something like that. You know,
I could see it. It felt like that, and same with the visuals as well.
Yeah, could be absolutely. She loves a good visual, and I respect that. You know, Tierra Wax don't be for nobody. She don't be bothered. She just be making music. Should we get into our main topic?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so today, everybody, we're talking about women. Women, as if we never talk about women. We're talking about women who either have or maybe one day will attempt on making a comeback. And so I wanted to look at the careers of several women. So I just like went to their Wikipedia pages, and I'm just going to read some of the stuff. So let's start with Remy Ma. Remy Ma, it says, discovered by Big Pun, she came to prominence for her work as a member of Fat Joe's group, The Terror Squad. In 2006, she released her debut studio album, There's Something About Remy, based on a true story, which became a modest success, peaking at number 33 on the Billboard 200 chart. And Remy Ma's most commercially successful songs include Whatever, Annie Up, Remix, Lean Back, Conceited, and All the Way Up. On February 13th, 2007, Ma told Billboard that she was working on her second album, Punish Her, as well as a collaboration album as a part of an all-female rap supergroup, Threesome, alongside female rappers Shauna and Jackie O. And who knows what that would have sounded like.
Yeah.
In 2007, she was arrested for shooting a person at a Manhattan nightclub, and she was found guilty on assault, weapons, and attempted coercion charges. On 2008, she was sentenced to 8 years in prison. And even though she said that the shooting was an accident, then after she got released from prison, she did Love and Hip Hop, had a feud with Nicki Minaj, a collab album with Fat Joe, started an all-female rap battle league, and has done several features for up-and-coming rappers. So that's one. Then there's Lil' Kim. So it was during this time. So Lil' Kim, she dropped out of school at 16 and began spending time.
I didn't know that.
Me either. And began spending time with rappers Lil C's, Nino Brown, and Capone, who formed Junior Mafia under the leadership of the up-and-coming rapper Biggie Smalls. And then with Biggie Smalls, Junior Mafia released a series of singles from their debut album Conspiracy in 1995, including Players Anthem. Lil' Kim was introduced to the world. The deep and provocative voice from such a petite rapper captivated audience, and she modeled her flow after the very successful Biggie Smalls, adding grunts and ferocity, while her image revolved much more around her sex appeal. Then her debut solo album, Hardcore, came out in 96, and it was praised for its raunchy and lyrical wordplay that they heard on Conspiracy album. It was a success. The critics loved her raw, unapologetic style of rapping, and she was very gritty and vulgar, more than past MCs like MC Lyte and Queen Latifah. But at the same time, they were introduced to another female rapper, Foxy Brown, and they would feud for years, only adding to their popularity. Then she released her second album, the notorious K.I.M. in 2000, and continued to work with Diddy on the album after, her hiatus because of Biggie. She was on, her celebrity status was skyrocketed when she remade Lady Marmalade with Christina Aguilera, Pete, and Maya for the Moulin Rouge soundtrack, and it won a Grammy, and it reached number 1 on the charts, and Kim became one of the most sought-after rappers ever. Then she released her next album, La Bella Mafia, in 2003, which had collaborations with Missy, Timbaland, and Kanye. But she had a lot of issues with her career. There was a shooting, and she refused to talk to the police, so then she had to go to jail, and she got convicted on perjury and conspiracy theory, and then she only was sentenced to 1 year and a $50,000 fine. Then her fourth album, The Naked Truth, came out right before she went to jail. Then after serving her sentence, she was released and struggled to get her career back on track. In 2008, she left Atlantic, and she wanted to go independent. That failed. Then she started a feud with Nicki Minaj in 2010. And then in 2019, so several years after that, she revealed that she was doing a new album, 9. And then her album came out, but it was a failure. And none of it actually cracked anything on any chart. So it was a real failure of an album, commercially, and people were saying it was not great. Now, moving on to Foxy Brown. So Foxy Brown signed to Def Jam in 1996. She released her debut album, Il Nana, in November of that year, and it had critical and commercial success, receiving platinum status and selling over 7 million albums worldwide. Then she was placed in the hip-hop supergroup The Verb, along with Nas, AZ, and Komiga, who was later replaced by Nature. And they only released one album through Aftermath, Dr. Dre's Aftermath. And then she released her second album, China Doll, which had a lot of success, and it debuted at number 1, and making her only the second female rapper after Lauryn Hill to do that. Then her third album, Broken Silence, came out in 2001, debuted at number 5, and she had Grammy-nominated singles, Nah Nah Be Like. And then in 2003, she left Def Jam She wanted to make her fourth album, Il Nana 2, but then she returned to Def Jam because Jay-Z was the label. He was the label head, and she was going to release her album Black Roses, but it got shelved. And then she released the mixtape Brooklyn Don Diva in 2008, and then her visual album, King Soon Come, was supposed to come out in 2019, but it's been delayed indefinitely, and she keeps teasing some sort of comeback. And then there's the last one that we're going to talk about. Missy Elliott, known as the Misdemeanor, and is a rapper, singer, songwriter, and record producer. She embarked on her music career with R&B girl group Sista in the 90s and later became a member of Swing Mob, a collective of her childhood friends, Timbaland, with whom she wrote and produced music acts for music acts such as 702, Aaliyah, SWV, Total. And after several guest appearances, she began her solo career in 97 with Super Duper Fly, which spawned a top 20 singles, Sock It To Me. Album debuted at number 3 on the Billboard 200, which was the highest charting debut for a woman at the time. Then her second album, The Real World, came out in 1999 and produced She's a Bitch, All in My Grill, and Hot Boys. The remix of the song later broke records, and then she came out with Miss E, So Addictive, Under Construction, and This Is Not a Test. So she was established as an international artist, and with her hit Get Your Freak On, 1 Minute Man, For My People, Gossip Folks, and Work It, the latter won her a Grammy Award for Best Female Rap Solo Performance, which again, only in the 2 years that award was ever a thing, she won both of them. And then she had a really big comeback in 2019 when she released her first music in 14 years with her EP Iconology. And she's received a lot of accolades, including 4 Grammy Awards. She has sold over 40 million records worldwide, making her the best-selling female rapper in Nielsen music history. She was the first woman rapper to be inducted into the Songwriters Hall of Fame, and she got the MTV Michael Jackson Video Vanguard Award in 2020. Billboard ranked her at number 5 on their list of 100 greatest music video artists of all time. In 2021, she got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and in 2023, she became the first woman rapper to be inducted into the to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So those are the women that I wanted to talk about. The Missy, Lil' Kim, Remy Ma, Foxy Brown, women who've had very tumultuous careers, who've been very, very successful, but who've also had a lot of, not so great.
They've had a lot of downs.
So since we're talking about it, I want to know, what do you think it means to have a successful comeback as an artist? Like, what does that mean?
Yeah, I feel like as I was reading this and also like reflecting on it, I feel like I think any like rapper alike to come back successfully means being able to like rebrand yourself. So I think that being able to like, I think, keep the integrity of like what people loved and appreciated you for back in the day, but also being able to like, I guess, kind of catch up with the time of like, okay, this was my audience, this is what they like now, or this is the type of sound that they want to hear potentially, and being able to, I think, match the audience that like kind of grew up with you. So I think that's a way of having a successful comeback, but I think it's also trying new things as well. And I think like this might be like a bad example, but like Joe Budden, like who Joe Budden was, like, earlier in the 2000s of like this guy being Pump It Up, whatever. And then now
his one song.
Yeah, his one song. And then now going into like the hip hop critic space and being an interviewer or whatever, like he's been able to, I guess, shift the perspective of like who he was to being this kind of like, now I would say like somewhat of a staple, if you like it or not, like of someone who has opinions within the hip hop industry from opinion base. So I think doing, like I said, keeping the integrity of like what people liked about you from when you were in your heyday, but also being able to grow with your audience and then find ways to like that 1% that makes you like different or unique now that you wouldn't have been back in that day.
I think it's so interesting that you talk about like Joe Budden too, because one of the things that I was thinking about like women or like what it takes to have a successful comeback is like, it sucks because men sometimes can really ride the coattails of like their one successful moment for the rest of their careers. Meanwhile, if a woman is like, you know, still hanging on to that success, like people view her as desperate
like
or
washed
lame,
up,
like washed, like why can't you do that? But so I feel like they don't, like, I agree with what you're saying, like you don't have to be the artist that you once were, you know, like the times have changed. And like one thing that's really unfortunate about being a woman is you always have to be reinventing yourself in today's image, you know?
Yeah,
and
that's so true.
So people will try and like diminish your status as a legend, you know what I mean, for what you've done, because if you choose not to, you know. But I don't think there's enough grace. I don't think there's enough grace that is given to women who are legends, you know, as there is to men, you know, like how people flock to Joe Budden even though he's never said anything of value ever, not even when he was rapping. But some people, but I do think there's an alternative route. And that is the Lauryn Hill route.
Okay.
If you released an album as good as The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, and let me tell you, there are very few albums that are as good as that. Like, I think that you should be able to do, like, you should be able to live off of that one album. Like, that is a diamond album. Okay, the first ever for a woman in hip hop. That is a diamond album, and she keeps going on tours and doing special shows celebrating 15th, 20th, 25th anniversary of it, and people still love her even if she refuses to show up at the time she's supposed to show up. People still go to the fucking shows, and she's
you're right.
And she's still as good of a performer. So I think there's a world where what you're saying is 100% true. We have to reinvent ourselves. You know, you can still keep what we love about you, but you do have to reinvent yourself. But I also think there's an alternative route.
But I don't think everybody can do that, though.
No, of course
because
not,
like you said, it's like you have to have the accolade, the album that cemented you in your place in history.
But let me ask you, of the women that I just mentioned, Remy Ma, Lil' Kim, Foxy Brown, Missy Elliott, do they have a Miseducation of Lauryn Hill in their discography?
I think the only person out of that group that could possibly do that is Missy Elliott.
Okay.
I think her
You don't think
music.
Lil' Kim?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay. I mean, I get it.
I guess
agree.
so.
I agree.
But well, I think Little Kim has to be accompanied by other people in order to continue with this. Like, think about like, you know, like every time that she like comes back, it's usually with P. Diddy, Junior Mafia. She has to be accompanied by people, but Missy Elliott can stand her own.
Yeah.
So
I think so. I agree. So then that brings me to the next question is, can someone ride the coattails of their former legacy forever, or are there limits?
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like, I guess that's kind of what we just talked about with like Lauryn Hill, right? I mean, I guess I'm saying no.
Okay.
That they can't ride. Like I think there is a limit.
Okay.
And I think, like I said, like feeling like you have to reinvent yourself. And I think that someone out of this list of women who we were talking about, who I think has done a good job of that, has been Remy Ma. I think Remy Ma has like been able to.
Go ahead.
I think that like from her time like in New York in her heyday, and then ultimately going through you know, her time in prison. Yeah. Like I think we've been able to see a transformation of her as a person and not just as an artist as well. Okay. And so like she has matured over time. Like she's like, okay, I want to start.
Shit, prison will do that to you, won't it?
But I was like, you know, like I think she's like, I want to start my own like rap collective. Like I want to be able to have more control of what is being put out. Yeah. But also she's still going on tracks with Fat Joe. Right. Like she's still like being able to call back to what got her popular back in the day. Yeah. So I think she's a good example of someone who's able to keep the integrity of their legacy, but she has also been able to tweak it over time. Yeah. That matches her and her fan base who loved her.
You know, you bringing that up reminds me of someone else who I did not include in here, but I think 100% fits that mold. Trina. Trina is another person, like legend. has been around, has worked with everybody. Everybody loves her. And I do think she's, really grown with her audience, and has been able to ride the coattails of her former legacy while also, redefining what that looks like in this day and age, because the success is not going to be the same that it was in the 90s. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or the
You have to do different
2000s.
things.
It's different. The landscape is much, much different. So it's not going to be the same. And I have a question for you.
Right.
Do you think in 20 years, if Nicki has not completely run her legacy into the ground, will she be able to sustain herself on her former legacy, on her former glory in 20 years, if she hasn't completely lost it?
I feel like she will.
Okay.
I just think because of the strength of her fan base.
But you don't think they're going to grow up and be in 10 years? Okay.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
No.
That's
I think if you're gonna ride with Nicki, you're gonna ride with Nicki.
Yeah.
Like I think that she will probably withstand within her own bubble of space and time, which I think is also fair to like a Lauryn Hill as well. Like not everybody, I guess, listen to Lauryn Hill. Lauryn Hill is not for everybody,
right?
But the folks who are like have nostalgic feelings or really love the album are always going to come out to go see her. And I think the same thing would be applied for a Nicki Minaj that would happen in 20 years.
That's a good point. I think I kind of agree. If she hasn't completely run this whole thing into the ground.
She hasn't. Yeah, like who knows? Okay. Who knows?
So my next question is like kind of like the last two questions is is there a world in which female rappers can have successful comebacks, and do these women that I just mentioned have an active place in the female rap landscape? Like, do we want to hear new music from them in 2024?
One. See, I don't know. Like, I would like to say, yes, I want to hear things from these women. But I don't know. Like, I think, like, do they still have an active role? I think Remy Ma has still been active, and like, I think with like All the Way Up, with there was that other song that we were talking about last week,
Ghetto and Ratchet.
Ghetto and Ratchet. Like, I'm like, okay, like these are like cool, fun songs. But again, I think it's like if you're able to, I think, still have the artistry, because I think that's when, like, I think this applies for men or women.
Yeah.
Like, if your like talent has diminished over time, like I don't want to hear that. Like, I don't want to hear you trying to like grasp onto like what you used to do and like, I don't know, talking about the same stuff versus like, okay, your life is different now. You're focused on like, I'm trying to get to this bag still, but like maybe I'm a CEO now.
Right.
And like,
yeah.
So I don't know. I feel like that's hard. I feel like it's hard. What do you think?
I think like, yes, there is the possibility. Like, I think they could have a successful comeback, but it's very limited. Like, to me, it feels like,
right,
like they do run the risk of just being pigeonholed into one thing, like I think the kind of success that they could, like, if they had a comeback, the kind of success that they would have to be on their own terms. Like, they wouldn't be the kind of success that, say, a Nicki Minaj would have or a Doja Cat would have. Like, it wouldn't be comparable, by those standards.
What is success to you? I don't think you answered that. What's a successful comeback to you?
I think if you're able to make new music and it sounds good, and you're able to go and do live shows and people come out and still see the shows for the old stuff and for the new stuff, I think there is an element where charting, kind of could matter, and I think if we're, but success has to be on their terms, so maybe this isn't going to be like the greatest top 10, like everything's going to be on the Billboard chart, it's going to go viral on TikTok. Maybe that's not it. Maybe that's not what this album is, but maybe it still sounds great. Maybe you still have, your pen is still as sharp and you're still as great a live performer as you once were. Like, I would still support that 100%, but I don't think it's going to be the kind of success by today's standards.
Yeah.
It's going to be different.
No, that's fair.
Yeah.
No.
I do want to say, like, I think to answer the last question of like, do we want to hear new music from them? Do they have an active role? Like, I would love to hear new music from these women in 2024, but I think only if they go like the Missy Elliott route. Like, I think the way that she's constantly reinvented herself and embrace new artists, and she's constantly like pushing herself and pushing the limits of her artistry, even all these decades into her career. Like, people need to do that. You know, like, one thing about Missy Elliott is she's going to keep redefining herself and keep like her ear to the streets. Like, she knows what sounds good. You know, she knows her lane, and she knows how to push other people and still get the best work from them. And I think all of these women have that ability to do that. And I would like that from them if they want, if they want to come back, if they want to make a comeback.
If they want to, yeah. No, that's fair. That's fair.
I mean, excuse me. It's interesting, you know?
Yeah, but I think you made the fair point, though, about like how it's unfair that women have to like reinvent themselves constantly in order to keep up with the time.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's unfortunate. I hadn't thought about that.
Unfortunate, but that's life, right?
I guess so.
I guess that's life. All right, is it music rec time?
Yes. I was going to say, do you have one?
I do have one.
Okay.
My music rec for this week is going to be Freak Junt, which is Gloss Up and Juicy J from Hit Kid's latest project. And I really love this song. I listen to it all the time. Juicy J is such a brilliant producer, but I truly think he does his best work when he works with women.
I agree.
Especially Southern women. And I just love this. I love this verse from Gloss Up. I love the chorus from Juicy J. I love this song so much. And it's like my hype song. You know, like, it always gets me really hyped, you know, when I'm about to go out. So Freak Junt, Juicy J, and Gloss Up. That's my music rec.
Okay, I got you. I'll just check that song out.
Yes. What's yours?
Mine is gonna be a little bit of a throwback. I was listening to the Meg Thee Stallion like Essentials playlist from Apple, and it just like brought me back to all of like her older music. And I was like, dang, I remember I was in college when I heard this for the first time. And I was like, I wish I could go back to the first time I heard these songs. But my recommendation today is going to be Simon Says. Actually, another Juicy J.
Juicy J banger. Look at that. See, it just works. I want him to do like a whole project with a bunch of like Southern women.
Yeah, that would be dope.
That would be so dope. Yeah. I would love that. So yeah, if you made it all the way to the end of this episode, thank you so much for listening to another episode of Where My Girls At. Happy Black History Month. Stay black. Stay out of trouble. Stay out of drama. And we'll see you guys on our next episode. Bye.
Yes. See ya.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Where My Girls At, a podcast about Black women in hip hop. Where My Girls At is produced and edited by Mariah Woods and hosted by Mariah Woods and Brianna LaRosliere. Follow us on Twitter at Where My Girls At 2, on Instagram at Where My Girls At _TH, and on TikTok at Where My Girls At Pod. See you next time.